Good morning, my dear fans. I am Rehan Kaji. This is my channel. It's me, Rehan. Today I am saying my study, my nature, my food. Okay. I am going to take my breakfast. I will show you. Look, my dear friends. This is my breakfast. Cornflakes. I am eating cornflakes daily. Look, I am tradition nature. This is my daughter. Look, this is my bedroom. This is. Oh, this is my bedroom. Okay. Look, this is my breakfast complex. I am eating cornflakes. Is a healthy food for everyone. Okay, friends. I will meet after eating. I will show you. This is empty. Look, my dear friends, this is empty and I am going to doing my study. I will meet after doing my study. I will show you my writing, reading, okay? I will show you my study, writing and reading. Look, my dear friends, this is my study. Look, this is my reading. Look, this is my study. Complete my study. I'm showing some nature. Look, this is today's weather. Look, this is weather. Look. Okay, friends, I will meet in my lunch. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, my dear friends. I am Rehan Bugaji. I am going to take my lunch. I am showing some nature. Look, this is my nature. Look. Look, this is my nature. And I'm showing my. Look, this is my ullas. Okay. Look, this is my afternoon lunch. I am eating dollars. I will meet after eating. I will show you. This is empty. Look, my dear friends, this is empty and I am going to taking some rest. I am complete my lunch and I am going to taking some rest. I will meet in my study. Look, my dear friends, I am Rehan Mukherjee. I am going to measure 9. Dude, I am going to measure 9. I'm going to mention that my teacher is come in my house and I'm going to doing my study. I will show you my study. I'm going to measure 9. Look, this is my measure 9. And look, this is my teacher. Show me your face. Look, this is my teacher. And look, this is my study. I will meet after doing my study. I will show you my reading chapters and writing handwriting. Okay. Look, my dear friends, this is my study. Look, this is my study. Look, this is my reading chapters. Look. This is my reading. This is my reading. Look, this is my reading. Look, this is my reading. Look, okay. Look, this is my writing. This is my writing. Look, this. Look, okay, friends. I'm complete my study and I'm going to doing some live class with my mother. Look, my dear friends, my teacher is going his house and I am going to doing some live class with my mother. Okay, friends, I will show you my live class. Look, my dear friends, this is my dinner and I am showing some nature from the window. Look, this is my nature. Okay, friends, look. This is my dinner. I am eating roti, potato, sweet. Okay, friends, I will meet tomorrow. Okay, good night. Tata. Bye bye.